I just moved from Australia to Scotland. I come from the UK originally. I've never lived in Scotland before. Always lived in London previously. And spent the last 10 years with my family, a 10-year-old daughter, a 5-year-old daughter, and my wife, who's Australian, living in Sydney, Australia. And we've moved from there to here. And it's been interesting as we've gone through this process to sort of reflect on how we've managed all the complexities that have been involved. In particular, with a family, it's a bit like being in a team or leading a team, trying to ensure that we sort of dampen down the natural anxieties that arise in a situation such as this. I mean, there's a huge amount to do and a huge amount of uncertainty throughout the process around things like work, accommodation, where we're going to live, both in the short term and the longer term, about anxiety for my children, in particular my older daughter, about school, about losing her friends, about will she make some new friends, and likewise for my wife. She's never even been to Scotland. She'd never set foot in Scotland before we arrived. And I personally have never lived here. I've been here for a few days. I'm going to start a new role in a completely different organisation. So, a huge amount to worry about and concern us as we've been building up to the move, which itself, has been a lengthy process, sort of years in the contemplation and months in the making, in the putting together. And throughout that period, there's been some serious ups and downs and stressful situations. And just reflecting back, and we're certainly not out of the woods yet, but reflecting back, thinking about how we've managed to sort of get through. And I think, firstly, it's important to say that in any complex situation, in any complex environment, anxiety is natural, because by its very definition, complexity means that you can't foresee what's going to happen. You're unable, because of the multitude of different facets, the different variables, you're unable to foresee how things are going to turn out. So it's absolutely part of the complex environment and part of human nature for anxiety to arise. So given that, the sort of critical function, I suppose, the sort of critical capability or skill that I think you need to kind of pull in and apply is the ability to sort of accept what's happening. It doesn't mean you don't try to change what you're not happy with, but it does mean that you don't ruminate to a degree that is unhelpful about what the future consequences might be. You need to try to retain your equilibrium by sort of working in the present, accepting that this is the present, this is the situation we find ourselves in, these are the challenges we have, what are the steps and the relatively small steps we can take to move from where we are now towards our longer term goal. We don't have to think about getting from here to the longer term goal. We have to think about what will move us forward. What step can we take that is a safe to fail experiment? So something that, if it doesn't work out, we can ride it back, we can take another path. And the beauty of this, well, there's a couple of really important parts to this, I think, from the sort of personal level and the managing anxiety level. One, it means that you don't have to be concerned that you're going to fail completely. If you're taking it step by step, there's always a way to undo and redo. It's not all or nothing. And the other part, which I think is really important, is that by looking at the different pathways that you can go and recognizing that there are different approaches you can take, what you're doing is giving yourself a sense of hope, because the definition of hope in the psychological literature is that it's a sense of agency, the knowledge that you're able to take action to do things, and a sense of multiple pathways. So the idea that there are various ways that you can achieve what you want. So I think that by sort of maintaining a sort of an equilibrium in the present, an acceptance of what is, and an understanding that you just need to move forward a few steps at a time, you're able to give yourself both the balance and the hope that enables you to deal with these complex situations. And that has certainly been an experience that I've had and we've had recently. Now, it has not been at all simple, and I won't pretend that there haven't been moments when each of us has struggled emotionally with the difficulties that we've been facing. But I do think that we have taken the approach I've described, and it has helped us to a large extent to manage our way through all the difficulties of getting a family from Australia to Scotland. And here we are.